What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, y'all. So look, surprise, surprise, Teofimo Lopez, okay? Teofimo Lopez, he's in the gym with his father. He's punching on the heavy bag. And while he's punching on the heavy bag, he says, where that N-word at? With the hard ER. First, I don't care if he just said the regular N-word. I'm one of these people who believe you should not be saying the N-word if you're not black. That means I don't care if you're Hispanic, none of that. If you're not black, you should not be saying that word. Okay? Now, he is Honduran, so he should not be saying the N-word at all. But he said it with the ER too. That makes it even worse, right? Where that N-word at? Then he said it again. Where that N-word at? And he's talking about Terence Crawford when he said this, right? And I'm like, oh, wow. Where that N-word at with the hard ER? The same one that pulled up on you and saw what you was, asked you what was that noise about? The same one that hold you, that pulled your car for the world to see on social media, the one that pulled up on you, put his arm around you, say, so what was it? I ain't got to beat his ass. I think Terence said, I ain't got to fuck him up. That's what Terence said, I ain't got to fuck him up. Because he said it's just for promotion, right? That one that pulled your car, that holds you, that one, cut it out, dog. Terence will stop you in brutal fashion. And this racist behavior from him, this is nothing new. Teofimo been calling black fighters monkeys, all of the above for a while, and people been letting it fly under the radar. You see, younger talent like Tank Davis running around his age, Tank should have checked him because I think he didn't say something about Tank crazy, called him a monkey or something like that, right? And Tank didn't give the reaction I feel like he should have gave, you know? But Terence Crawford will meet you with that same energy. Come on, man. After Bud fight Canelo, go ahead and get in there and fight Terence, Teofimo, and watch you get fucked up in brutal fashion. As you should. Because this is getting out of hand. And I remember when Top Rank, he felt like Top Rank was promoting the black fighters more than him. I think I remember him saying something like, y'all Top Rank, y'all can have the black fighters. Y'all like the black fighters so much. All of that. Okay, cool. You know, but this ain't surprising. Like I said, he didn't call black fighters monkeys and all of the above. His daddy was hollering out the N-word for the longest of time, and everybody was like, oh, they from New York. They from New York. They from New York. And listen, I love my New York people. Shout out to all my New York folks. I got a lot of people from New York that subscribe to the channel. But that is the problem with port cities, okay? New York is a port city. So from my understanding, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. Y'all like, the immigrants, all y'all, they live with the black folks, all of that, you know, Hispanics live amongst black people and all of that. And then that leads to black folks saying, oh, they one of us. They can say the word. Right? And they give them the okay to just say the word. And I ain't gonna say, because in Chicago, Hispanics be saying the N-word too, for sure. But it's not as prevalent as it would be probably in New York. Because you got I went to school with some, like, a handful of Mexicans. Only a handful. I went to Morgan Park High School. We probably had about 12 Mexicans in the school. And I ain't hear one of them say the N-word. Maybe because they just didn't feel comfortable saying it in that environment with all them black folks in there like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Morgan Park was 99% black. Morgan Park High School on South Side Chicago. But like, yeah, man, I'm like, you know, like, again, living in a poor city when other ethnicities live amongst black people, like, a lot of the other ethnicities get comfortable saying words they ain't supposed to be saying. Even in certain places like California. I've seen certain places in California where I've seen Filipinos saying the N-word, Samoans saying the N-word, so on and so forth. And like I said before, my problem with the Samoans and Polynesians and all that saying the N-word, they'll try to tell you they got black ancestry then, right? But in any other point, when you talk to them, they tell you they not black. I'm not black, I'm Samoan. They know black. Any other time, I know black. Until it's time to say the N-word, then they want to go pull out a picture of they great-great-grandmother that looked like her name was Juanita. That looked like her name was Georgia or something. Pull out their great-great-grandfather that looked like his name was, you know, Willie Earl or something. You feel me? And some of them don't even have that type of ancestry. But again, my problem with some of them that have black ancestry, the Samoans and the Polynesians, that they only want to claim black ancestry when it's convenient, when it's time to say the N-word. Other than that, they know black, they not black, they Samoan, all of that. Same thing with other ethnicities that say the N-word, you know? So anyway, back to my conversation with Teofimo. Teofimo, you know, he probably been saying the N-word, I know he been saying the N-word his whole life. But see, that N-word he said now is transformed into the ER. Again, I don't care if I don't care. He shouldn't be saying a regular N-word. But now he done shifted the regular N-word he was saying to the hard ER now. Now, what you trying to get a rise out of folks? You trying to start like you really, or this is your racist. Your racism is showing heavily now. It's on your sleeve and on your shoulder now. Now you wearing it on your shoulder. You wearing it proudly. And see, that's how you get fucked up out here. You know what I mean? So I'm wishing. Matter of fact, go ahead and fight Boots Ennis. Go ahead and fight Boots Ennis. Teofimo, go ahead and get in the ring with Boots and get your skull cracked. Because you need that. It's time for you to get that ass whooping. So you can learn. It's time for you to get, it's time for you to be able to get punished. Okay? And I've seen certain people, it's just a word, it's just a word. All that is just a word that don't fly over here on this channel. Ain't no word. It's a word that was used and by again, it was used against my ancestors to denigrate our people. You feel me? That he hollering it out, and then again, hard ER. Used to denigrate our ancestors, denigrate our people, so on and so forth. My people come from the South. You know what I'm saying? My grandma and them heard that word so much growing up. My grandma was born in 1933. God rest her soul. My paternal grandmother. You know what I mean? My maternal grandmother, she from Alabama. Moved to Chicago as a little girl, but she born in Alabama. Montgomery to be specific. Those words was flying left and right down south. And even in Chicago it was. It was flying around in Chicago to denigrate black folks so all the time. Right? And here Teofimo using his word to describe Terence Crawford. So using his word to talk about Terence Crawford in this way. It is not surprising at all. Because he's had a history of these racist type of remarks. Now it's just time for somebody to hit him in his shit so he can understand what time it is. And luckily he's in a sport where violence is acceptable and welcome. You feel me? You're not going to get sued. You get in the ring and whoop on them. So Boots Ennis, Terence Crawford, one of them get in the ring and tell him what time it is. But again, he talking so tough right now. When we seen him buckle, we seen him fold as soon as Terence Crawford was in his face. And I'm going to say this about Bud, man. Bud is not a super loud person, so on and so forth. But he's very vicious and very, very aggressive. Okay? So Teofimo gonna have to really stand on this the next time you see him. He might choke the shit out of Teofimo. You see him next time. He might hold him in a terrible physical manner when he see him next time. And he should. Because Teofimo think this a game. He think this is just some funny stuff. This is just I'm trolling. I hate when dudes try to use that trolling excuse to get off racist antics and get off all type of ignorant stuff. I'm just trolling. See, trolling gets you hurt. Trolling gets you in a world of trouble. Trolling, it gets you in a crazy situation. You probably be like, man, remember, the moments in the movie when the dude is getting whooped on and he like, how did I end up here? It gets you in one of them moments. How did I get here moment? Because you ain't even have to do all of that. But that's what he want to do. So I think now he going to have to see what time it is. He going to have to see what time it is at that point. You know what I mean? Because now he just, again, he just doing anything now. Saying all type of racist stuff about black folks and think it's just cool and it's all good. He his father in the background ain't telling him, ain't stopping him because he learned that from his father. He learned that from his OG. His father taught him that. I'm sure his father, he done heard his father talking all type of crazy stuff about black folks in his house. I bet you he done heard his father talking all type of crazy stuff about black folks on a regular basis, talking derogatory about black people. And that's why he's so comfortable doing it. That's why he has no problem doing so. And again, he from Brooklyn, right? And I'm like, damn, don't you got to go back home talking crazy like that? I know he relocated at one point. He was in Arkansas, Jonesboro, where I went to grad school. Ironically, I went to grad school at Arkansas State in Jonesboro, Arkansas, right? But I know, don't you got to go back to Brooklyn and see some other black folks around and they hear you saying this word and how you been talking? You got an answer for that? Yeah, I know you're a boxer, but you can't fight off 20 dudes at one time. So it's crazy, but it's not surprising because Teofimo has shown his tendency for doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? Calling dudes monkeys, and I got a banana for the monkey, and all of that. And yeah, he's come off very, very racist, very disrespectful, um very, yeah, very obnoxious, very racist. You know, and so yeah, now we're seeing that side of him now. You know what I mean? Now we're seeing that side of him, and he coming off like a white supremacist now. You feel me? He coming off like a white supremacist. Now, ironically, there are a lot of Hispanics who identify themselves as white. You know, not all, because the darker ones, they know they can't do that. But the white Hispanics, they don't even view themselves as Hispanic. A lot of them view themselves as white. You know, which is why you had a lot of them voting for Donald Trump, because a lot of them assimilate to white supremacist ideologies. You know, and then they, especially when they immigrating over here, they assimilate to white supremacist ideologies, and they view themselves as white. And you ask them, what do you check off when you're doing a census or something? Do they check off Hispanic, Latino, or do they check off white Caucasian? And a lot of the white Hispanics, the ones that look like Canelo Alvarez, they will say that they are white. You know? So, yeah, because Teofimo, he ain't no black Hispanic. I know that. So, he not one of them black Cubans or nothing at all. But, yeah, man. There's some of y'all boy. But I can't wait for him to get into the ring with Terence Crawford or Jerron Boots Ennis. And so we can see what time it really is with him. We can really see what he really on for real. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out, y'all. Peace.